Merry Christmas, Frank.
Merry Christmas, Simon. Thank you. It's been a wonderful few months.
It's been a tremendous few months. We're here. We got at the end of the year. We got to Christmas time, and
cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Merry Christmas to you all. Hope Santa's good to you.
This is just a wee look back on the Let Me Be Frank podcasts.
It's been a riot, hasn't it?
Some of the wonderful guests.
How long ago does it seem now since we first decided to do this back at the start of the year?
Well, we first decided to do it way back, but I think I remember saying to you years ago we should do it because I just don't understand how people get a wage out of it. So, you know, and I enjoy doing them. I enjoy doing them. You don't get paid now. I enjoy doing them, so I do them for other people. So I thought, I'll come and.
But I think the one thing that's occurs to me more than anything else is the pool of Frank McAvennie and how you're able to get all these names. Some of the names we've had on, and we'll talk about them all. Yeah. We'll look back at some of our favourite clips. Highlight, though, has to be just back a few weeks ago having Rod Stewart.
Oh, brilliant.
I know it was.
But you know what? I'm just going through my phone book.
Aye.
My missus is people say, how'd you get him? Thanks, going through his phone book. That's what I'm doing.
Aye. Well, do you know what the irony is?
It's going to come to an end some point. We need to start paying people.
somebody said to me, notice a lot of the guests have been blokes, and they actually did say, "Where's the birds?"
Oh, I did.
You know, so you saw that.
But we got Bianca. That was a good one. Good one to have.
A few others lined up.
Joe Wilson from Sky. If you're watching, give us a phone, or I'll get in touch with you. And
Charlie Spiteri would be good as well. She'd be good.
Yeah, Charlie, brilliant.
I know
her. So she's in the phone book. So I'll get her.
Aye.
That's coming after Christmas. We've got a few lined up for after Christmas.
We've got big plans for 2025. Let Me Be Frank podcast. And remember, hit the subscribe button. Follow us. We're giving you Frank's giving you tremendous guests, great content, lots of laughs, lots of fun, and it's free. So follow us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, Instagram, TikTok, all the usual stuff. So the very first guest we had, do you remember Mark Hateley? He was sitting in his shorts. It was the summer, and the Euros are about to start.
He done well, Mark. It was great to have, because everyone knows I'm associated with Celtic, and I didn't want to
just make it pure.
We spoke about it, and I thought, I'm not going to have just Celtic people on it. It's going to be everyone.
Yeah.
So and it works, and so we got Mark on. He's a big name in England, big name in Scotland, big name at Rangers.
Great stories. His predictions, however, the Euros are just about to start, and as we're about to see, he thought England might go all the way.
Well, he did say that. He put his neck on. He says, "I'm very confident."
How did that work out for him?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at it just now. Let's watch the Mark Hateley clip from that episode. Is your heart going to rule your head, or does your head make the decision?
I can't see by England. You said before, can you pick up another team that is going to be there or thereabouts? And a real struggle to find somebody that can match it. But any given day, it's one of those keeping your key people fit. I know we talked about Harry Kane. He's missed the last couple of games. He's not playing in the pre-season. He's not playing in the friendly. So they're nursing him, right? Yeah. But so you've got a goal scorer that you can count on. You've got Foden that's got 20 goals. Yeah, you've got the Cole Palmer that scored 20 goals plus. Ollie Watkins, 20 goals plus, and all the assists that goes with it. So it all points to great things.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think Scotland will get through.
I hope so. I think
Scotland will get through the group.
I've been saying that about Scotland for the last two tournaments that they've been in.
That was great.
Unlucky Mark. Watching Spain again.
I don't know how much money he wins putting bets on and results, but no, that was great. But the final was the wee boy scoring did he score in the final? Did the wee 16, 17-year-old? He did a tremendous tournament.
He's fell away a bit, but I think maybe his pockets are too heavy with that money to make now.
So after Hateley, then we decided, because you're such a legend with West Ham, let's get some big West Ham names on, very early on with Julian Diggs. And how good was he?
I think he broke all records for swearing.
They did that.
Yeah, but it was good. That's Dixie.
We did the F word count at the end, and went into the thousands. But he told my favourite recollection. In fact, we'll watch it just now.
Roy Evans took over. Me and Roy didn't get on. Yeah. That was it. We didn't get on. And I remember him calling me in the office once saying, like, Birmingham City want you on loan. I said, look, I'm 25, 26 years. I don't want to go on loan. I just want to go and settle somewhere, and that's it. So I said no. And about a month later, he called me in the office and said, Tottenham want you. I go, fuck off. So he went, what? He went, Tottenham, seriously, Tottenham want you? I went, yeah, seriously, fuck off. He went, what do you mean? I said, why would I go to Tottenham?
Exactly.
I'm West Ham. I said, I would never go to Tottenham. He went, really? I went, yeah, I have principles. I said, like, at the end of the day, I don't want to alienate the fans or anything like that. So that was that.
Tell you what, I've also learned since doing this podcast, we've always got a lot of big West Ham numbers and among our followers and all that, but they've got a lot of affection for you, but Julian Dix is right up there.
Yeah, but he's, do you know that, can you believe we were roommates? It was just I don't know why, every Friday night was bedlam. It was good fun. But the two of us have got the same threshold for boredom, so it got a wee bit sometimes, but it was good fun. We spoke about it now, it was good fun.
And another, was Tony Gale a roommate?
Tony Gale, no, he was a vice captain. He always roomed with Alvin Martin as a captain.
Oh, right. Which brings us on to the next clip. Because I think Alvin Martin was meant to brush his teeth when they were rooming one night.
Let's have a look at it.
Let's have a look see what happened then.
It's frank to tell you, like, when you're room partners, we really got on, myself and Alvin. Like, he was our captain. But you had different sleep patterns, didn't you? Some would like to stay awake, watch the telly. Some like to go to sleep early. Some get up early. Some get up late. So Alvin was an early riser. I was a late riser. But I used to watch the telly till the little girl come on the chalkboard. Do you remember?
I remember.
Like the test card, they used to call it, didn't they? So I used to watch it till then and then get up late. So Alvin used to sod off to breakfast, and then he used to come back and wake me up after breakfast. And then we used to go and have a walk, just to stretch our legs. So he's come back one morning, he went, oh, you all right? He said, I had a great night's kip. I went, oh, all right, Alv. He said, I didn't wake you up, did I? I went, no, you're good. I said, come, we'll go for a walk. He went, he said, I've used the toothpaste. He said, I've used your toothpaste. I couldn't get a lava. I said, you talking about you couldn't get a lava? And I gave him my toothpaste. He went, no, that one over there. I had piles at the time. He'd used my pile cream. And he'd even used the applicator to put on his teeth.
Oh, no.
Oh, brilliant.
And I'm hoping the applicator had been properly cleaned.
Well, he still talks out of his arse.
So that was it. So, as you can imagine with Alvin, every time.
Did he take it well?
Well, we had to, because, every time he came out, we were saying, no, you're talking shite. And all that. It was wonderful.
You piling on the agony.
Hey.
Now, one of our first episodes, in fact, I think it might have been the first one we actually recorded, if I'm not mistaken, was the actor Gianni Capaldi. He was great. He came in and it was good because we were very new to it, and he sat there and he was great fun. Loads of great stories about Hollywood.
He gives all these jerseys away, Celtic jersey, and I decided to give him a West Ham one.
That's right. I wore it.
He wore it in the studio, so there you go.
But my favourite moment of the Gianni episode was he was telling us how he ended up playing football in LA with Rod Stewart.
Sure, yeah.
But remember how he made
the
connection with Rod Stewart?
But as I saying, 80% luck and where he met him. So here we go.
10% somebody crashing in your motor. Let's all look now at Gianni's story about how he ended up with Rod Stewart. Now, that's a good story. But Gianni's story about how he first encountered Rod Stewart, I'm afraid to say is even better.
Go on, eh?
Do you want to pick up the tail?
So
the tail end?
Tail end. So I'm driving in Hollywood, and it's midday or something. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Driving away, and next thing I feel, bang, back of the car, turn round, and back, that old Hamilton boy gets in the car, slams the door, up the door. The window comes down. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. I'm like, ah. He's like, fair enough. I'll use. Gives me his driving license and exchange insurance details and that. And then gives me his name and all that. Sean Stewart. Like, no, right, okay. Once I get that paid for, that's all right. Didn't matter. Down the road, get a phone call the next day, and it was a woman called Teresa Nipple at the time. And she's like, listen, I work for Mr. Stewart, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You didn't work for that boy, I know that for sure. So everyone gets sorted, everything's great. And then I got invited up to play football at their five-a-sides.
Loved that, didn't he?
On a Wednesday, and the big Celtic album.
This is at his own place?
At his house in the hill. So you got way up the hills, driving bends after bend, and then you come big security desk at the front and that, the barrier and all that let you in, and that beautiful house. And then that's how I first, so I ended up playing up there every Wednesday.
Tony Cotty. So,
My strike partner.
your strike partner. And between you scored about, what was it, 300 million goals or something like that for West Ham?
We scored my first season, didn't we? Scored 54 goals between us. It's a record, it's not been broke.
But what I liked with Tony was he, and this clip we're about to watch proved incredibly popular with a lot of West Ham fans, because he was talking about how he knew that you guys in the 86 season, it wasn't a case of if you were going to win, you were going to win.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a case of if you were going to score, you were going to score. And this wee clip here demonstrates just how good that West Ham team were, even in the running when the pressure was on, you know. But he didn't. But as we're about to find out, things didn't start that well for him that season.
I just had a really, really slow start to that season. I didn't score for the first 6 games. And if I don't score a goal, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm getting annoyed with myself. You then start to try a little bit too hard, and then the goals are coming even less then. And we got to the 7th game, I think we played at Sheffield Wednesday, and I scored. I think I scored as well. And then as soon as I got my first goal, I think scored 7 games on the trot. And then all of a sudden, the goals were flying in. And do you know what, Simon? I always say it's the only season in my career, I played for 20 years as a professional, the only season where I didn't think we was going to win a game. I knew we were going to win a game, and I didn't think I was going to score. I knew we was going to, not just me, but Frank as well. We just laughed and joked about it. And to be fair to John Lowell, all the training was, I think it really pissed the lads off, because everything was just to get the ball to me. And it was all, get it to them two, and they'll score the goals, which we was doing. And, we went 18 games unbeaten, before Christmas, which is it's never been done by West Ham before, and it's never been done since. And I think there's still 17 club records or something from that season. It was an amazing season, and we just loved it, Frank. It was
good fun.
Lots of folk remember you for your football.
Yes.
Well, it's fair to say that a lot of the younger generation, when you mention the name Frank McAvenny, what's the first thing they say?
Yeah, where's the birds? That's thank you, Johnny Watson.
Thank you, Johnny Watson.
An excuse.
Johnny was thrilled to come on. He was really, really keen to come on. And I always remember he came in, and he was also really impressed. Big up to the guys in Up Next Studio, because they do a wonderful job. And Johnny came in and he was really impressed. But I was amazed that you guys hadn't actually spent that much time in each other's company.
No, well, he's multi-ego.
I suppose
Listen, Johnny's Johnny. He was doing a show once. I mean, we'll see bits of it, but he was doing he was speaking after dinner. I was speaking, and Johnny doesn't do that after dinner.
Aye.
So the guy was saying, listen, Frank, there's a guy at the front, he sometimes shouts a bit and heckles. I said, don't worry, I'll just slaughter him. And, as you do. And Johnny says, if he shouts at me, I'm off. He says, I'm an actor. I was like, and that's when I realised he's a serious actor.
Aye,
so everything he does, Phil writes for him. And
he's Scottish acting royalty.
Oh, of course he is.
But the story, the clip we're about to watch, when he was filming the Only an Excuse spin-off, I think it was JaackMaate and Victorious. But that caused you a wee bit of a problem.
Just a wee bit.
As we're about to see.
I've got to tell you that on the way up to film that in Victorious, Frank and I are walking up Renfield Street.
Aye.
Where the unit base was in the Cafe Cine. And we're walking up, and we're chatting away, and he goes to me, he says, listen, he says, I better tell you, he said, James Mortimer, who won Victoria's, James has barred me. And I said, what? He said, James has barred me. So I had to say to Big Brian Hosborough, who was our first AD, I said, bit of a problem here. I said, Frank's barred. So the production that he got on to James Mortimer said, look, can we get special dispensation for Frank to film?
Aye.
And James goes, yeah, okay.
Aye.
So filmed the scene and then came out again, that was him barred again.
Aye.
Right, so listen, I've got to ask, what did you do?
I think it was one of the waitresses or something. I think I'd done something wrong. I may have smoked her too much.
Or did you maybe not tip her enough, or would you just...
I tipped her already. No, I'm only kidding.
You did ask.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I kind of walked into that one a wee bit. Is there a watershed? Thing you can do with this? That was good. Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch Only an Excuse?
I watched it all the time. He done me for about 30 years. It was that long.
Finale.
So yeah, it was 30 years. I did watch it, but recently or the last few years, last 5, 10 years, when I come back to Glasgow, I go to a hotel for New Year's Eve, and I go to a ball and all that with the missus, and it's great fun. And you're up dancing, and people come over and go, "You were absolutely brilliant," all that excuse, and I'm saying to them, "You know that's not me, don't you?" they just can't sort of
fantastic.
take it apart, and they're going, "Oh, you're great," and the old ladies, "Oh, you were brilliant." I'm thinking,
well, listen, on the subject of TV programmes, we started to move things up a level, didn't we, with some of the guests? Right, we had
Yes.
Martin Compson and Tony Curran come in.
Happy to see him get through it.
Oh, well, that's what I'm doing a little CI. Dick should come after
I
him.
know. But timing.
Martin Compson was superb. He was very, very open and honest. I think he'd been in a wee bit of negative publicity, but
Yes.
on stage at Transmit, where we drank on board and all that. But he addressed it brilliantly. He was dead honest about things. And then that question.
He came in with Tony, didn't he? It was Tony, the two of them.
Tony told a great story about Bryan Cranston Breaking Bad. I tell him not to be a doofus. But the big issue was, is there going to be another line of duty?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm not going to ask him.
You led me into that one straight, just get to the point.
This is good, but his answer was good.
I feel as though I'm asking all the questions. Do you want to ask Martin if there's going to be another line of duty?
Is there?
So you put it on your plan, master.
Put it on me. Yeah, don't want you to ask anything. That's and it's so popular. I mean, it would be
like, we don't,
criminal not to. Really,
we'd love to, but it's just, I mean, one of the catch-22s of success is like we're all away doing different stuff, you know. I mean, Vicky never stopped anyway. Adrian's doing his own thing. He's got his own detective show. I've been working a lot with Amazon recently. Jed's away. I mean, the main things that would come around Jed, the writer.
He's got to write it first. So.
He's got to write it, and it's got to be worth telling. There's no point doing it, because the other tempting thing is I mean, it sounds a bit of a fucking boast, which it is, but also it's a bit of a weight that the figures of the last show is the most successful drama of this century, and so if you don't top that, then it's kind of technically a failure, you know, in some ways. So it's very tempting to just leave it that way and just go, well, we signed out with that, but also I don't think any of us were quite happy the way it kind of fully wrapped up. So, and I think there's
what
more
you
to come.
Mean, there was kind of unanswered questions?
I think it's just there's more to come. I think, I mean, you've got to realise when you're making these things is budget comes into it, and we had a couple of huge set pieces throughout the series, and you know, it was a very clever way Jed kind of wrapped that up, but there's a bit of it you want to go out like an all sort of guns blazing and all that kind of thing, but again, it's just all of us would be up for it, I'm sure, at some point. It's just going when. But then if you leave it too long, it's kind of it's deep.
I tell you that an episode
just makes us.
It's good, isn't it? I hope you're not driving. In fact, no, driving's a kind of sort with you. After your wee accident, you're all right.
Yeah, I'm all right now.
I think round about that time, and it was one of my favourite episodes, and it was an episode which actually I started to think this podcast is really going places with John Hartson in.
Yeah.
And Big John was, as ever, great fun. In fact, we went from bike to eat.
I play golf from quite a lot, you know.
Yeah.
It was him. He was the right reason. When I crashed the car, I was going to play with him. Sunday morning at 20 in the morning. I shouldn't be up at that time. I usually go home at that time.
But again, it was John's honesty, and he, you know, we asked him about a great story after a semi-final, I think it was, where he was substituted, and Martin O'Neill had taken him off, and he didn't take it very well.
He never took anything very well.
He didn't take it well, but poor Henrik Larsson had just had a new suit or a new shirt or something.
You've got to listen. Come on.
Great.
We sort of looking, and I walked straight down the tunnel. I never went and joined them on the bench. So I go in the dressing room, and there's a plate of tuna and mayonnaise, tomato and egg, onion and whatever, and I was so sort of lost the plot. So I grabbed a plate of sandwiches and I just went smashing them up against the wall. Water bottles, oranges, Gatorade. I totally lost the plot. So Henrik Larsson, I think he had a new like a white shirt on, and there was a bit of tomato, and then you do shit. So I'm thinking, what's worse, having to face Henrik or the wrath of Martin? Just sitting at a brand new pair of shoes on. He had a bit of tuna on one. So anyway, the game finished, and Martin came in. All the lads have come in, they're all high-fiving. Yes, what a win. Really hard game, but tell you what, lads, we got through it. We're in the final. We're in the Scottish Cup final. So I'm sitting there like a spoilt kid, like a spoilt baby. Yeah. So when it all calmed down a bit, Martin's come over, and he's gone, what's wrong with you, John? What's the matter with you? And I went, I said, what do you take me off for? I said, it's always me. I said, you're always taking me off. Take somebody else off for a change. And nobody really spoke to Martin like that. But for some reason that night, I got the ump. And so he looked at me and he said, look, John. He said, every now and again, he said, you've got to run around a little bit.
I'd love to have seen Henrik that night with a egg in his shoe and all.
Henry's got a great sense of humour, as you were telling me. And let's not go down that road. We're going to try and get him. We're going to try and get him on as a guest.
Yes, he's got a big to plug now.
That must have been
he's got a big to plug.
Playing in that team, the big characters in that changing room. In fact, we're going on a wee minute to talk about Charlie McGrew and him being a teenager.
A lot of people don't tend to forget, only because Chris Sutton, because he played three now, but John's not a winger. Henrik's not a winger, and Chris Sutton's not a winger, so there's three strikers for two positions, and luckily,
well, Chris sat back a bit.
He sometimes played centre half.
Aye, that's right.
He was pretty good at that as well. I mean, he's and playing midfield, so and a lot of people. There was three of them. It wasn't just two of them.
And I tell you, who was the real who was the sort of main man in that midfield of that Celtic team, the Seville season and around about that era.
Well, there was a few of them.
It's our next guest after
next guest, yeah. Well,
I'll give you a clue.
Captain.
He went on to be a Celtic manager.
Yeah, Captain Lenny. He's the man. But listen, he was in there, and Scott Brown and Lenny were the two players that sat in there, shut things up.
Do you use all this number 6, number 8, number 10 stuff?
No, but
I don't even know what that means. As number 6, a kind of holding midfield.
Holding midfield player, yeah.
Lenny was always like he would just break the play up.
Yeah.
Pass the ball simply, keep it simple. Paul Lambert used to do that as well. Just keep the ball, keep it simple.
I loved the bit with Lenny, just with Martin O'Neill as well. I don't know if he spoke about it.
Well, no, he did. Is this when he decided he would go for a wee kind of change in his appearance, and didn't go down very well. But before we go to watch that clip, I felt quite sorry for Lenny, because he did us a massive favour. He came on one morning from Romania over Zoom, and things weren't going well for him at that point, but he was just so happy to come on. Because of you, he was not coming and chat to us, but it didn't pan out very. I don't think he was there 2 weeks after that podcast. He was.
Well, it was in the paper that day, wasn't it? It was a bit lot of piss.
He was caught having a wee pee in it, or he denied that, or he denied it.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. You watch the clip, but I'm going to be honest with you. When you're in the training ground, you need to do it in the park. You don't run away into the, half a mile away to the dressing room. You go and do it in a fence, but I think that's what Lenny's done, but they're exaggerating, saying done it in the middle of the pitch. You can't do that. Lenny wouldn't even do that.
The clip we're about to watch is when he decided to do something different with Barnett, and it didn't go down very well with Martin anyway.
Brilliant.
He called me in and he said, Lenny, you're 29, 30 years of age. I said, why do you dye your hair blonde? I said, well, I just like to be different. He goes, well, be different. Score a bloody goal. Find me 2 weeks' wages, Frank, and that was it.
Is that right? Are they fines? I don't know, but I've never been fined. What a great response from Martin O'Neill. How good would it be playing under him? I mean, I see the great man, and I'm in his company quite a lot now, but what a
funny story.
What a summary. Just that one-liner, try scoring a goal, that's something different.
Now, the next guest, right, which we're about to watch, I've never seen you starstruck before, really, right? But when you're talking one of the biggest names in acting in Britain, and a big West Ham fan.
He's my pal, isn't he?
Ray Winston.
He done it.
But before you pulled out all the stops to get him on. I didn't think he would come on.
Yeah, of course he would. He lives in Sicily now.
He's hugely passionate about West Ham, obviously. But I've been a one of their biggest fans. But like yourself, he's always a wee bit worried. Things year on year, there's always a problem with West Ham. You know, are they going to the new signing's going to kind of settle in? Are they going to get up? They should be top 6.
Well, they should be. I mean, that's what we're talking about. You've got to be careful what you wish for, and Ray talks about it as well with David Moyes, you know.
Yeah, completely.
Didn't play well, but my God, he's a winner. He got his...
Completely.
He won his European trophy, which it was incredible.
But what came through loud and clear, Chant, today, apart from the fact that I learned what this meant as well. Come on, you irons, but it was just his passion for the Hammers, and it came through loud and clear. And again, we got a great reaction from West Ham supporters to what Ray said now.
You know, last year, I mean, what David Moyes done was quite amazing, I think, you know. And I've moaned about Moyes sometimes, his tactics and all that kind of stuff. I think tactically at times he got it totally wrong. But then again, I'm the man sitting in the stadium and watching on the TV, and what do I know? If I knew anything, I'd be a manager, you know. So I like to enjoy it. I'm 67 years of age. I've come through West Ham. I don't know what would happen if we became a really successful club and won a Premiership, won a European Cup, and all, which we did last year, by the way. But if we won, you know, the proper European Cup, you know, what that would do to me? Would I turn into an Arsenal fan? You know, and lose on Saturday, you know? I don't want that.
That would never happen.
West Ham fans, being a West Ham fan's been an optimist.
Yeah.
You know, it's about next year. And I kind of love that. That's part of the makeup that I am, you know.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow's another day.
Now, the episode after that was, I keep saying one of my favourites, they're all my favourites, but the one and only Alan Ruff came in.
Oh.
Now, you told me beforehand, I don't think I've seen Ruffy doing his after dinner set, but you warned me that he's a great storyteller.
Alan Ruff could pick up a menu and read it and people would laugh. Yeah, he's just, honestly, God, he's just one of them. He's one of the guys that's, I mean, you got to, when you had him on, you were going, well, I get him on, I says, 3 World Cups. I mean, that's incredible.
But he just had a big smiley face.
Yeah.
He was happy to be here. All his stories were tremendous. Yeah. But it was also, the clip we're about to watch was, I'm new to TikTok and all that stuff. Right? I'm a bit of a Luddite when it comes to social media. Exactly. But we put this following clip on, and the reaction to it was phenomenal. This is him back in Glasgow after the Argentina World Cup, when bearing in mind Scotland had lost 3-1 to Peru, and it's hilarious.
This was after Argentina. Peru beat us 3-1. And I was going down Buchanan Street, and I was walking down, and there was a boy in this shop, and he was sort of begging. He was a blind boy, you know. I could see people were throwing money in his cap. I went up and I threw some money in his cap, and he goes, "Well, thanks a lot." And I went, "No problem, just try to help you out." And he went, "Oh," he says, "I recognise your voice." He says, "You're Alan Ruff, aren't you?" And I went, "Aye, I am, aye." So I was chatting to him for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I says, "Look, I need to go. I've got some shopping." So I'm walking away, and he goes, "Oh, Ruffy." I says, "What is it?" He says, "Do you know me and you have got something in common?" I went, "What could that be?" He says, "I never saw the 3 Peru goals either."
Yeah, Ruffy's one of the best, and we had a lot, to be fair. We had a lot of people coming on and can tell good stories.
Yeah. A modern day, out of the kind of younger footballers, although he's retired now, is Charlie McGrew. Charlie McGrew's a good storyteller. He had 2 or 3 absolute belters. He obviously addressed a controversial issue with Michelle Moan. We'll maybe not go into that, but
no, we got. He's never spoken about it, and we got about it. So
we got him talking about that. But the one I thought was really good was the taxi one was great. The taxi driver didn't realise he was sitting in the back. I mean, that's typical.
It's a typical taxi driver, isn't it?
But he gave us a wee insight into what it was like as he was a young apprentice, and he had to go into the changing room with your Larsons and your Suttons and your Hartlands, and he knew that they were going to slaughter him.
It was Sutty was the bearer of.
Big
Sutty, brilliant.
He was pretty sharp, Chris Sutton, as we're about to see.
I remember looking into that Celtic changing room with Sutton and Hartson and Larson and all that.
Brilliant.
Your stomach's doing somersaults, you're so nervous, and you're in to pick up all their dirty gear to go and get it washed. And I remember Sutton shouting, Charlie! You're like, oh no, here we go, turn round. He says, see when you're older and you're working at McDonald's, make sure you put some extra chips in my son's Happy Meal. Honestly. For them even to interact with me.
I know.
Like even that, I was like, that's just brilliant.
Aye.
Obviously you're embarrassed at the time.
Aye.
Yeah, but you're like, that's amazing. Like I'm going home and tell my dad like, something spoke to me today.
Somebody told me that he said to one of the boys, come in with a Ferrari or something. And he says, oh, brilliant. He hadn't been near the first team. And he says, you paying it up, or you just pay cash like the rest of the boys in here.
There's a story similar to that. So the same, a boy in my team, he got a Mini, he was buzzing to get a new Mini, came in with the keys off, flipping it on his horn and all that, get a new Mini, which is brilliant that age, you're buzzing. Sutton's, he's so sharp, he's like, Reedy, did you get a new car? He's like, yeah. Tried to tell my buddy, he went, mate, get myself one of those, put my dogs in it. You know, just
brilliant. Well, we hope you've enjoyed that. There's far more to come. That was part one of our look back in the first 6 months of Let Me Be Frank podcast.
I've always wanted to be part of a best of.
Aye, with these
part two of the best of.
Two. There's brilliant stories that we've just seen. But some of the ones we've got coming up next week and the second of our 2 festive season specials are even better.
Get better and better.
Yeah. Mark, it's been great fun. Well, anyway, mate, Merry Christmas. Hope you got everything you're looking for.
Yeah. I always do.
Nice wee set of antlers there as well. Suit you well. Have a great Christmas, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
All the very best. Take care.